We're well and truly on there, aren't we?
Definitely are. Right, let's go.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong. Oh, what a beauty! Oh, what a beauty! I waited all my life for that! What a screamer!
Thanks again, Agent Cook. So my missus asked me why we weren't eating and why we're hungry. I said, I'm hungry because there's a podcast next week. Then she asked me why we've not got the heating on, so we'll be cold. I said, why will we be cold? I said, because there's a podcast on Wednesday. If you got that, great. If you didn't, let's just move on and pretend I didn't say it, like Russ does every single week. Evening all. Cheers for tuning in to the Scarf Bergara Wore, the #1 Stockport County weekly live show with me, Nick Lee. Another momentous week is behind us, another one ahead of us. And a Football League place is starting to get even closer than Neymar and his sister. If you got that, great. If you didn't, let's just move on and pretend I didn't say it like Russ does every single week. So, what have we got in store for you this week? To tell us everything, it's our resident man with a plan that doesn't involve flan. Of course it doesn't involve flan. It's a show about county, you silly sausage. It's Russ Johnson. Hello.
That was one of the best intros you've ever done. That was
Thanks, mate.
You've topped it. You've topped it. We're going to look forward to Yeovil. We've got Dave Coates coming on from Glover's Cast. He'll be joining us very soon. We're joined by fan guest Steve Wright, or Wrighty, as he likes to be known. So we'll call him Wrighty for this show.
That's not Steve Wright, the Suffolk Strangler.
No, and it's not Steve Wright in the afternoon either. It's a completely different. It's a Stockport County Steve Wright. It's our very own.
They're my two least favourite Steve Wrights, so he'll definitely be an improvement on them.
Okay, great. I'm glad you approve. We'll talk about Grimsby, Solihull, Stewarding, day trippers, and much more. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about. I mean, the word that I can really associate with county at the minute is wow.
Wow indeed. I'm glad you said wow, Russ. I'm really, really, really glad you said wow. Because speaking of wow, this week's podcast is sponsored by another Stockport team in fine form, video arcade machine manufacturer Arcade Wow. Their premium quality, brand new retro style arcade machines are popular in homes and businesses and come with over 15,000 games, including classics such as Space Invaders, Donkey Kong, and Pac-Man. It's pronounced Pokemon. What? You can see all their arcade machines and even arrange a visit to their Stockport showroom at arcadewow.co.uk or see the link in the video description. And as part of that collaboration, county fans can get a £50 discount by using code TSBW at the checkout. And if deliveries for the Northwest, oh, well, that's good for all of us. You can select collect as your delivery option, and Arcade Wow will deliver and install it for free, saving you a further 99 of your post-Brexit pounds. And we get a share of that too. So visit Stockport's very own arcadewow.co.uk and save £149 today.
Fantastic. Right. Without further ado, let's get our first guest out, which is Wrighty, Steve Wright, and in the late afternoon.
This is the Scarf Bergara Wore, a Stockport County fan-created podcast, blog, YouTube live show and website. Find us at thescarfbergarawore.co.uk. For county fans, by county fans.
Hey, yo.
Good evening.
How are you?
Very well, mate. Very well. I like the Steve Wright links to other people that are quite famous, but I've actually got a story from Grimsby away where I was the guy's coming down the coach and he's ticking off his names for who's on there. So I said, "Oh yeah, Steve Wright." Guy in front of me, no word of a lie. Name was Steve Wright. Spelled exactly the same as well. So there's two Steve Wright County fans. So
was he the Suffolk Strangler or the radio DJ?
Could well have been, he could well have been. Who knows? I might have to watch out for that one.
Yeah. Love it. Right, so Wrighty, you just join us for the whole show. Later on, we'll have a chat to you about like why you support county and your story and things like that. But before we do that, let's get Dave Coates out from Glover's Cast and have a chat with him about the Yeovil match coming up this Saturday. Hello, Dave.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Good evening, Dave.
I've realised 3 things since I've been listening to you guys. 1, I need to improve intros. If I can't get Neymar and his sister in, then what's going wrong? 2, I want to buy an arcade machine now, and I don't know why. But I live in the Northwest, so I can save myself 149 quid. And 3, I'm far too depressed to be on this podcast. The 3 of you are just going to make me look like the most miserable man in the world. So, but you'll discover why in a minute.
Yeah, well, that's kind of why we'll get it out of the way first, and then we'll you can go get your tea and go and have a pint or whatever, and we'll carry on. So yeah, let's talk about Yeovil and talk about the team that you played against us, sort of in the 3-0. We've gone through a massive transition since then. In terms of your season overall, where are you at now? Where's Yeovil Town at?
Bang mid-table, which is probably where when I spoke to you back in September was where I thought we would be, and probably surprised ourselves a little bit, because I think when we beat you 11th of September, just looking at it, we'd beaten Halifax at home. We've obviously gone on to have a decent season as well, and we were 3 in a row. But our problem has been one of streaks. We've had decent little runs and absolutely terrible little runs, and at the moment we're probably more in a terrible one than we are in a good one. When I look at your results, I think to myself, well, our runs aren't really that impressive in comparison, are they? But yeah, I mean, looking at the team that we put out at your place, I mean, they're pretty much everybody's still there. The only exception is Joe Quigley, who scored the second goal, who we flogged to Chesterfield. They paid 6 figures for him. Goodness knows how anybody thought he was worth 6 figures. But there we go. A lot of those players, one of them's now our assistant manager, which we can come on to if you like, about what happened to our actual manager. One of them's gone back on loan to Millwall. But yeah, the rest of them are pretty much about, I think, still. So
that was going to be sort of certainly my next question. Was the manager left for Woking?
Correct. Yep.
So what happened there? Because that's a step back, surely.
Well, he was offered a contract which extends beyond the end of this season. I mean, presently our situation is we've got, as far as we know from public statements to club, you know, when you sign someone, they say, they've signed an 18-month contract, a 2-year contract. So when we add it all up, beyond the end of this season, we have 1 player on contract. We have no manager because he was out of contract at the end of the season and no one had done anything with his contract. So we got offered a contract at Woking, apparently rang our owner, our chairman, up and told him the offer had been made, and the owner told him, take it. So if Woking are outbidding you for something, with all due respect to Woking, you're in a pretty dire situation, aren't you? So we now have our assistant manager, a guy called Charlie Lee, who'd been around in the sort of lower reaches of the Football League. He'd come back. He was a player for us. He'd come back about a month, 6 weeks beforehand, taken over assistant manager, never been an assistant manager or a coach or anything. He retired from playing earlier on this season. He's now finds himself as manager, which is just bizarre. And we have a player called Josh Staunton, who's injured at the moment, and he is his assistant manager. So it is an absolutely depressingly bonkers situation to be in. But
sounds like all hands to the pump, doesn't it?
Well, there ain't many hands to put to the pump. That's a problem.
I just find in the league, Dolly, it's almost like 3 leagues in one. So you touch on the fact that, you know, you can go on a little bit of a run, especially if you get a few decent fixtures in your, you know, in a bulk and that in a month, you can actually go on a decent run. But I do find that the top 5 or 6 are a little bit, you know, out of range from the others, especially with the money and stuff. Yeah. I'm sure everyone who comes on here says, and I know you guys are quite open and honest about the fact that there's obviously been a lot of money been spent at Stockport. And fair enough, you got some brilliant players. You got a team there that's far too good to be at this level. But you know, Wrexham, they've got a lot of good players there as well. And then there's teams like Halifax who maybe haven't spent quite as much money, but they've probably got a decent pool to draw from there. We got West Yorkshire one side, Manchester the other side, haven't you? So yeah, we just can't compete with anybody who's got money, and we've got a chairman who's
put us in a borrowing money hand over fist. We've taken best part of £1 million of loans from Sport England. Add on to about another £1 million that he'd borrowed to buy the club 2 years ago. Let mortgage the money against the ground. This all sounds quite familiar to Stockport fans, owners.
I'm getting a cluster headache just thinking about it.
Say, yeah. So until something changes, we've said it all season. Till everything changes, nothing changes, and
just need to get yourself a rugby club now.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
So
don't really do rugby.
I do want to touch on the off-field stuff a bit more, but before we do, Ben Barkley, is he obviously still on loan at your place? Is he out injured or?
No. He's been a regular ever since he came in. He played on last 2 games, so we lost to Aldershot and we drew 0-0 with our local rivals Weymouth, which there are more depressing conversations to be had around those 2 games. But, I travelled all the way from Lancashire to Yeovil to watch those 2 games. Lucky I had a decent Easter aside from the football. But Ben Barkley, fantastic. Thank you very much. He's been brilliant. He's it's quite funny because when we played at your place, he had an absolute stinker, didn't he? And he got dragged off at half time. And when we signed him, we thought, what, that bloke? The bloke that let Joe Quigley and Adi Youssef give him the runaround. But he's been fantastic. I mean, you've obviously got some very good players in your defence because he good header of the ball. Great tackler, good positional play. Playing in a team where there is going to be a lot of pressure coming on you. Looks a very good player. Looks a player that's too good to be playing for us, and he's not ours, is he? So, and he won't be playing for us this weekend. So, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's a strange one with Barkley because when we signed him in the summer, he was kind of one of the big signings we expected a lot from, and then he's one. I mean, it's probably in double figures the number of players who had the confidence just shot to pieces by the previous manager. And he struggled more than others. I think he scored in one of Challoner's first games, didn't he? He scored in the 5-0 against Kings Lynn, I think. But we didn't see him after that. Yeah.
No, and he's coming. He's got a lot of games. I think he's played probably every game since he's been here. He may have had one out through an injury, but no, he's been fantastic. He's if we could keep him, we would, but we can't afford him, so you can have him back. But please keep him till the end of the season.
I was going to say, I think he's on a 3-year contract with us. So, you'd expect us to be keeping hold of him unless someone's going to pay a fee, which, I don't know, maybe we'll put him in the shop window.
You'll have to check down the back of your couch, Dave, see if you can get some money together.
I'm just looking. I've probably got like $350, something like that. That's probably more than you get from the chairman, I think. But, unless you borrowed some more money off someone.
So who's the key players to look out for then on Saturday? I'm travelling down for the match, so I'll take your advice on board and keep my eye out for him. Who are we looking for?
The players that I'm really looking forward to seeing that I can associate with Yeovil: Paddy Madden, Miles Hippolyte. They're all ex-Yeovil. No. I'm dreaming. I'm just dreaming of those players playing for us again. So players to watch out for. I mean, the problem is because it's such a small squad, we've had so many players that have been playing so much football that coming to the end of the season, we're bang mid-table. We're not going to go up. We're not going to go down. So they're not really turning it on. And that's what we saw over the Easter weekend. We've got a decent player called Tom Knowles, who plays down the either right or left side. He came from Cambridge a couple of years ago. Never stops running. One of those players that everyone loves because he just picks the ball up and he goes there. Got a great shot. Hasn't scored for a little while, but he's a very good player when he's in the mood. Got another player on the other flanks called Charlie Wakefield, who's been a bit hot and cold this season for us, but when he's hot, he's fantastic. He was a Chelsea schoolboy, and he had loads of injuries, really bad. He's played more games this season than in the previous 5 seasons of his career. So, but he's had the opportunity because he's managed to stay fit, which is first time in his career that he's done that. But he's a very good player. But it's depressing talking about some of these players because they're all going to be out of contract come the end of the season.
Well, our director of football is watching this right now going, yep, we'll just note of them.
That's
What
it.
sort of crowds have you been getting, Dave, at Yeovil this year?
Couple of thousand, maybe. I think you're going to bring about 1,000, aren't you? Down by the sounds of it. So yeah, a couple of thousand is about the average. I mean, the situation off the field has turned a lot of people off. There's a chairman that's not been there. Well, so he turned up for a couple of games at the start of the season. We played Bournemouth in the FA Cup on the TV around January. He turned up then. Surprise, surprise. No one's seen hide and hair of him since. There's a lot of, hopefully, if you hear anything from our end, you'll hear chance of Priestnell out, because that's the owner. No experience in running a football club in the past, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, there's someone can come in, they've got different ideas. One of these people promised a lot, has delivered very little, has racked up an awful lot of debt. As I say, we borrowed nearly £1 million from Sport England, which, okay, it's 25 years, you got to repay it, and it's no interest for 4 years. That's still £1 million, and to us, £1 million is that's might as well be £1 billion. So yeah, we're in a pretty dire situation, and people have voted with their feet. There's been talk on and off, well, more on than off, about there being a takeover. There's a consortium that's around and involved. I think probably last time I was on, I was talking about this, and it's still not happened. So nobody know. I'll be honest with you. If we haven't gone into administration by the start of next season, if we're still around and we're not part-time, it will be a pretty good situation. But I don't think you boys will be having me back next year, because you'll be talking to Football League fans, not like me.
We might still have you on, and throw a few
take
crumbs.
pity on me. Yeah.
Oh, throw a few crumbs.
Yeah, chop Ben Bartley,
I'm so annoyed at myself.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about good and bad times with football clubs. People generally associate these bad times with teams dropping through the leagues and whatnot, but I really associate it with the likes of, I know Derby's been a bit of it's their own doing a little bit, but you look at other teams that have dropped in, they haven't got the finances to be sustainable effectively. I call on them as bad times and sad times, really, for these clubs that we will, steeped in history, and we lose, but through time and stuff. We've seen it with Macclesfield, we've seen it with Bury. It's sad, really, and we feel your pain a little bit,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Oldham are going through the same at the moment as well. They're dropping like a stone. Probably Scunthorpe as well. So, Dave? Have you got a supporters group that heads up some sort of action, or? So
there's a supporters trust. Glovers Trust is called, which Ian, who does the podcast with me, Ian and Ben. So Ian's a member of the trust, and they actually had call it an asset or community value that they registered against the ground. It may have happened in Stockport case, I'm not sure.
It did. I was part of that for us.
Okay. Well, they had so they had that. They triggered it when, again, this is another story, but a couple of years ago, the owner was looking to sell the ground to the council, and it's still something that could still happen. Yep. And it was, we'll give you £2.5 million, safeguard Somerset's only professional football club, but we'll take. But you all know, you got bricks and mortar. Someone gives you money, great, it's money, but it can soon disappear, can't it? It can all be, And I'm not saying anybody's going to take money out illegally or anything, but it can get frittered away. And when you liquidate an asset like that, that's what you've done, haven't you? So the Glovers Trust, when that deal was coming through, they activated the ACV. They got 6 months to go out and try and raise the money to buy the club. Yeovil, say a couple of thousand, even in at our headiest of days, we weren't getting more than 7,000 at home. Can't fit more than 9,000 in the place anyway. So we're never going to be able to raise the money to buy the club. So what they did was they went out and looked for a consortium of someone who might be interested in buying the club. They found it. It's this group, Simmel Sports, they're called. Probably they've got Mark Bircham. I'm not sure if he's a name familiar. Played for QPR, played for Millwall, midfielder with a dodgy haircut and injury record. He's involved in that group, and so, but that's been going on for such a long time now. They're in, they're out, are they? Yeah. So nobody really knows what's going on. And I say the chairman, nobody's seen hide and hair of them. Now, on the podcast, we have been asking. We always ask for questions from people, and they, everyone says, "What's going on with the takeover? Why isn't the chairman speaking to us?" Whatever. So we decided, or Ben and Ian, I should give them credit for. They put together a letter, open letter, and it said, "Scott Priestnall, we want to know what's going on. Well, tell us about the finances. We've got no players. We've got no manager. What the hell's going on?" This guy's not been seen hiding error for months and months and months. We put it on change.org. We said, right, if you care about this, put your name to it. We got like 1,500 people put their name to it within a matter of days, including, and there were actually Stockport fans who went on there. So if they're listening, thanks for doing that. But other clubs put on, that have found himself in this situation. Anyway, chairman's coming on the podcast next week. So we're going to be able to put those questions to him. Nice. And hopefully a few more as well to ask him what is going on. So, what's he going to say? Is he going to say, "Oh yeah, it's it's all sorted. We've got this brand new deal that's going to come out"? I don't know, but at the very least, he's going to come and front up and answer questions, I think. So, yeah,
nice.
Simon Lomas. This all sounds positive from county point of view. Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah, jinxed it.
Just before we go back to the match, when's that podcast out? Is it Thursdays? Yours comes out, is it?
It's on a Friday, so it'll be
Friday.
A week on Friday, 29th. Yeah,
Okay.
So we've got him on Thursday night. We record him Thursday night, and then it'll be on then. So yeah, well,
right,
if he turns up.
It's called Glover's Cast, and
Glover's
got a
Cast.
question here. What's the podcast? Sounds like it's worth listening. It's called Glover's Cast, and it's available in the Fan Hub app. So in our division, you just change the club from Stockport County to Yeovil, and it's all there for you to consume.
But remember to change it back after.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I listen to every week.
It automatically changes it back when you restart the app. So yeah,
Yeah. You're all right. You're all right. Yeah.
Loyalty comes with a cost.
Okay, so Saturday then. I mean, that did all sound a bit doom and gloom, but we're absolutely behind you with all this. We've like you say, we've been there. We've done the asset of community value and all those shenanigans. It's not a nice place to be, and I guess National League South is not a nice place to be either. So that's hopefully you don't end up going down there. Predictions for Saturday then. Sorry to put this on you.
Go on, Dave, we'll let you go first.
Well, Russ came on our podcast last night, and I said to him, "Please tell me you can't win it on Saturday." And what I meant was, "Please tell me you can't win the league, and we have to watch you all run on the pitch." And he looked at me as if I was saying, "Please tell me you can't win the game," and he literally laughed in my face. So like that's exactly what he did.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah. So I'm going to be optimistic here and say 2-0 to you guys, 3-0 maybe. I mean, your team is just. I mean, we share a mutual affection for Paddy Madden, because when Paddy played for us, he was your words cannot describe what I felt for that man when he got us into the championship. He was an absolute legend. So yeah, he'll probably score. I just hope he doesn't celebrate. I don't want all this. No, that will just ruin it for me. But yeah, I think if we can keep it to respectable couple of goals, then that'd be nice.
I think Paddy won't be doing that. I think a bit of shithousery might be coming from Quigley if he scores, but
yeah.
I think
we've had him before,
expect him not to do anything. But yeah, I think Paddy's because obviously living up north myself, and got a lot of friends that are Fleetwood. I call them friends loosely now. They're Fleetwood fans and that, and they do rave about him. You look at Rydell and Madden, Sarcevic when he was there. They were all raving about him. So when talking to me about it, I can see where you're coming from an outsider of Yeovil, looking at the people that were signed and that. So I think it'll be 2-0. I think it'll be difficult. I think like most teams this season against us have parked the bus a little bit, and it's made it a little bit hard work. The teams that have been a bit more flowing, we've found it a bit more easier to get through than teams around us. So who knows? I think it might be on the nose with that one, Dave. 2-0 there.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'd take it now. I'd take a 1-0. I'd take a 1-0 win in the 89th minute. I don't care, as long as we
not
get
another one.
points.
No, I can't. My heart won't take it anymore. I was at work. Honestly, got scared about half a dozen people to death. I was jumping on the desk and everything. Can't do that.
Right,
again.
brilliant, Dave. Absolutely fantastic to have you on again.
Yeah, no worries, lads. Thanks very much. And like I say, I said to Russ last night, I think there's every non-league fan is hoping that you guys go up. I've spoken to a lot of them, and they said, "Who do you think will go up?" And they said, "Yeah, I hope Stockport do it because they've been through a lot in the years gone by, and they're best team. I've not seen you play well against us because I only saw that 3-0 where we won. But I've seen you on the TV, the Bolton game, and so forth, and it's great football to watch. So yeah, best of luck with it. Obviously, I can't say that for Saturday, but after that, yeah, I hope you go on and do it.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate
All
it.
right, see you later. Thanks.
Cheers, see you later. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
You know what? It's mental because to go on Twitter, you'd think that every fan of every other club is an absolute bellend. But we keep pulling good eggs out of the basket and getting them on this show every week. That's how much we care for our viewers, listeners, watchers, voyeurs. Whatever. That's how much
Nick goes on and bungs them £100. There you go. Say some nice.
yeah.
No, but it's good. I mean, we are gonna go up, and we're gonna do this with football league clubs. Absolutely, and there'll be more of them as well because the higher you go up, the more likely to have podcasts and stuff. But I'm gonna miss talking to people like Dave because he's such a good egg, isn't he? Speaks
absolutely.
well, and they've got a good setup at Glover's Cast. Not a good setup at Yeovil as it happens, but yeah, good stuff. There we go.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Shall we talk about Grimsby on Saturday? Friday, sorry. Good Friday. It wasn't a good Friday, but should we talk it?
Well, it was. You managed to get me in a photo, which is how we come to talking to each other now. It was actually your photo that got the back of my head in it. So I was like, recognise that dopey git there.
This is how I ended up on the podcast. It was during it was during Russ's peeping Tom days. And, just peeked
into his voyeurism.
through my bedroom window and thought, oh, them balls would be good on a podcast. Here I am.
Yeah, that's it. Scouting me.
So what happened on Friday? So let me just tell my sort of little story, and then we can take it from there because I obviously do the Twitter account for Scarf Bergara Wore. So
you had a few, haven't you, mate?
No, I hadn't. I hadn't. I know I'd had one pint, and that was in the ground. I hadn't had a few. So what happened was, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, the first 30-35 minutes, we were by far the better team. The game hinged on the red card. They were very, very quiet. In fact, as the game started, they made a bit of noise at the kickoff. But as the game started, you could visibly see around the three sides of the ground that they were thinking, shit, that Stockport are a good team here. We're up against it. And we were getting the ball back in midfield. Counter press was happening, getting loads of space down the left and the right. They were visibly like shitting themselves. The red card came, and it was like they'd scored a goal, with the red card, which is fair enough. Your back's against the wall. I get all that. But even after that, up to half time, and you will talk about it in a second, but we still contained them up to half time, and then we took Quigley off, and that again changed the game again. Second half, it was just wave after wave, and we couldn't get a grip of it. And yes, they scored 2 goals, but the fans, even after half time, they didn't. Even when they started to get a foothold in the game before they equalised, their fans were just rubbish. They just didn't. They weren't doing anything. It was only till they scored the goal that they started jeering us and cupping. They were cupping their ears at us, saying, "You're not even singing." It's like we were singing a whole match. What are you on about? So I was incensed by this.
Warrants arrest.
Exactly. I was incensed by this, so I tweeted. I tweeted at half time, said we were by far the better team. I tweeted what I've just said to you, and then at full time, I got into a bit of a spat with DN Fit 35 as well. Alex off their podcast.
It was so nice last week on here, wasn't it?
I know. And he mentioned our podcast on his latest show and said the Scarf whatever wore. So DN 42. Whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I'll have that back. Anyway, so yeah, I got into a bit of
good job we're never going to play him again, isn't it?
I know. And then we got loads of tweets in from Grimsby fans that were calling because it wasn't you, Nick, it was me calling me.
Yeah, as I was at pains to tell people it's not me.
I know.
I'm going out for a pint.
But listen, there's a good ending to it. So They tweeted me saying I was a whopper, a bell end, all the usual Twitter stuff, which is fine.
All correct. Yeah.
All correct.
Factual.
But then
I don't see the problem so far.
no, but then just to end my story, I listened to DN35 on Monday morning. I listened to Tuesday morning, came out Tuesday morning, yesterday morning, and they said their guests on their podcast, their Grimsby fan guests said we were the better team for the first 30 minutes by far. They did not sing. They've actually got a problem with acoustics at their ground, and they're going to do a separate podcast all about fucking acoustics at Grimsby. Do you know what I mean?
I hope they find a room with good acoustics to record it in.
Yeah. And all hinged on the red card, and it should have been a penalty for Quigley. And if Quigley hadn't been taken off, it'd have been a different story. So I was 100%, and I'm going to fucking die on that hill. So there's my little story.
I can tell you've had this exact conversation with your missus. And she's just sat there for the whole thing going.
I did it with Daniel. I did it with Daniel. And he agreed with me. I've got a new little mini me now. Don't forget, he comes all the way and matches with me. So
you will listen. You will.
So yeah, that's my rant over. There you go.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think I looked at it, and I might be wrong, yeah, but I looked at it, and I can't remember him having a shot before the 60th minute, before the actual goal went in. I actually can't remember him having a shot in anger. I might be wrong with that, but it didn't seem I've been looking the other way. A couple of Sambucas, before the match sent me a little bit over the top, mind you, but I can't remember him actually having a shot on goal. And yeah, the red card. And I mean, we'll touch on the Solihull, I bet, in a few minutes, but when you put the red card that Sarcevic got in comparison with the 3 challenges that happened there's absolutely zero consistency. Absolutely. It's horrendous. It's just vastly apart. It's wrong.
There was zero consistency with the Sam Minion one minutes later on the right hand side. I mean, I can kind of understand. Okay, Sarcevic has gone in. His foot's high and it's 50-50. So he's giving the referee a decision to make. Yeah. But what annoys me is Quigley's gone through. Should get a penalty. Okay, if you count the double jeopardy, the guy gets a yellow card and we get a penalty. Yeah. That's arguably 1-0 already. Score the goal 2-0. Maybe Sarcevic doesn't make that challenge. And I know it's all ifs and buts, but you can see why the refs give it. But then go to the right-hand side with Minion. Why does he not give that? I mean, it was along the floor. The guy doesn't get the ball. He takes Sam out. Yeah. So it's just such a frustrating afternoon. It really was. And
I think we've got to get them out of the way. Just got to get them out of the way. That's one blip, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's out of the way now. It's not as if the team played actually bad. They were playing really, really well. So you can't put it down to them. Oh, the Reds have dropped. They clearly haven't, and it showed it that on against Solihull, and that will do them a world of good. Last minute win. It's about time we got one. But again, like I said, the Grimsby game, you can just put it to bed. It's out of the way now. They're going to be in the same division for the next 10 years because it's hardly route out of that division. It's getting very congested. So I won't worry about them fans. Won't see them again. Toodaloo.
They turn up at your house, Russ.
No, but But you know what though? That's what I love and hate about the game in equal measure. We were losing. We're down to 10 men. They were cupping their ears and everything and giving it us like the big one and all sorts. And I just think one of their lads got taken out. Did you see that, Righty? One of their lads got arrested. It's like
ejected. Yeah, on the way down. Yeah,
it's like simultaneously fans are both the best and worst thing about football. At the
same
time.
Honestly, it is.
Schrodinger's fan.
It's just they just did my head in. So see if this was Charlie on here now or for footballers, they'd be saying and talking like about the game and being a bit balanced about it. But we're fans, we can say this stuff, can't we? Their fans really did my head in. Honestly, proper did my head in.
Yeah, I've got a feed on my Facebook page. It's about 300 comments long. Having a running battle with 2 of them. I tell you, I just don't get them. They're brain dead. They're just looking for bites, and that's it. That's their Wembley victory in it against us. So let them have it. It's fine. We'll move on.
That's why I don't go on the Facebooks anymore.
The Facebooks.
Because it's just the absolute worst of football fans. Are just and then people will talk absolute shit for like 80 comments in a thread, and then someone will call them out on it, and they just reply with the fishing rod emoji. And I'm just like, I hope you die in a house fire.
That fishing rod tells me that they have absolutely zero comeback or intelligence, so therefore they'll put a fishing rod.
Yeah.
That's it.
The worst people on the internet, it's them and the people who reply to Marcus Rashford's tweets. Because Marcus Rashford will tweet something about a charity, and then it'll be, Penaldo. Why is that the thing to put pen in everything? Penaldo, Penandes. When did the imagination, like, as a fan base, we've got some of the most original songs out there and stuff like that. The George Agani song, for starters. And then the people who came up with that must be bloody fuming to see what like football banter has come to now, where it is just tweeting someone who's doing more for this country than most politicians are doing, and tweeting going, "You were shit on Saturday, mate." He's like, yeah, he's literally tweeting about starving kids, mate. I don't think that's the priority here. But oh my God, I started this by whinging about Facebook, and now.
But do you know what though? Back in the day, before the internet, when all this were fields and stuff, right? Only the best rose to the top, where they got to have things captured by everybody. The Tea Party was a good example for us.
Yeah.
Whereas now, anybody with a keyboard can have a say, like us dickheads on here, basically. But anybody can do it, can't they? So I think that's probably what it is.
But I think we've always stayed clear of like being intentionally provocative. We don't like log on at 6:30 on a Wednesday night and go, right, who can we piss off tonight? But these people who log into Twitter clearly do that.
Yeah.
It's baffling, and they're starting to creep into county Twitter now as well. There's, I mean, how many a day are following us now? Like people with United stuff on the profile and all that.
Yeah.
I think if these people put more effort into their own clubs and actually, I don't know, picking up a spade and helping a club or doing something positive towards the club rather than jumping on a keyboard, that actually might help the team or club a bit better.
Well, have you not heard, Steve? It's Glazers out again now.
Oh, is it?
It's Glazers out season until they drop like another £1 billion on shite in the summer, and then they'll be all right again. So yeah, that's it. They all come and jump on the bandwagon here when it's Glazer out season.
Absolutely.
Let's
two clubs for them down the road, but no, they come to bother us.
To us. Yeah. Back to Grimsby then. So the other thing just to mention as well was the Hatters 83 lads were out with a fantastic flag of Charlie, the one that that Harry put up the sticker that they had selling.
Yeah.
I think they're sold out actually now, but and then I think they had the photo taken with it against at the Solihull match. So yeah, good atmosphere from our end. We didn't stop singing all match. Anything from you, Righty, for the Grimsby match? On or off the pitch, pre-match, post-match?
Well, pre-match, I should never be allowed to have sambucas ever again. I'm like, like the rule with gremlins, when you get them wet, they multiply. If you give me like sambucas, I just go off the rails. Honest to God, I'm surprised I didn't end up locked up without the geezer. Christ almighty, should be kept well away from him. But no, there's a comedy moment on the coach. Like I think I should see it beforehand, where I nearly got the back half of the bus banned on the way to the ground, but that was because I was caught with a drink in my hand. So that's me on the train to Chesterfield, I think, boys. So if you want to join me, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, it's apart from I thought it was a really good performance, and there's nothing his fault. All right, Sarsfield could probably held off on the challenge a bit more. Do you really want someone to do that? Do you want them to be pressing like they are, pushing? I'd say I'd take a sending off every once in a blue moon, for the way the team are playing. I'd nothing to really qualm about it. Good turnout by the fans. How many was there out of interest? Because it seemed absolutely bucket load.
Oh God, I've no idea. Was it 1,800? Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for the guys on the train on the way home anyway, because I think it got delayed, didn't it? The train till about 8:20 at night.
Yeah.
That was a horrendous journey back from there.
Yeah.
Your eyes.
Trains being shit on a bank holiday, never.
Oh, unbelievable, isn't it?
I mean, my coverage of the game was restricted to radio coverage via Strawberry and BBC Radio Humberside, but the one thing that came through the most was the noise from our fans. Absolute quality. Talking of quality, well, I've got you. Talking of quality, we're very pleased to remind you that this week's podcast is sponsored by Arcade Wow, Stockport's very own manufacturer of premium quality retro video arcade machines for the home or business. Do what you want with them. We're not bothered, which come with over 15,000 games, including classics such as Street Fighter, Space Invaders, and Mortal Kombat. You can see all their machines and even arrange a visit to their Stockport showroom at arcadewow.co.uk or see the link in the description. Contact Arcade Wow for details of your £149 discount, courtesy of the Scarf Bergara Wore. Just then, Russ, I was going to try and wrap it up before you got back, and then I saw you. I saw you gaining on me. I was like, no.
I don't know what you're talking about. People who are listening to the podcast don't even know what you're on about.
The
audio
rarely
podcast. Do. No, well, that's true.
Rarely do. The best of times.
Yeah. Anything more about the Grimsby match? No, I might listen to their podcast, their special podcast they do about the acoustics in Blundell Park.
I'm very glad it's over, and I'm very glad I don't have another evening of just getting notifications of the replies that are coming in to you. Just oh, this guy's a dickhead, and I'm taking it personally because I'm like, well, I am. They must mean me, and they don't for once.
No, it was good. I was actually sat there with my family thinking, am I a dickhead? Am I a waffler? and then when I listened all weekend, I was thinking that, and then when I listened to their podcast on Tuesday, I was like, get in. They all agree with me.
It's not me that's the problem. It's everyone else.
Yes. Okay then, Solihull or Solihull, as Wrighty's been calling it.
Well,
Solihull, Solihull.
Who cares?
Singular hill. Who cares?
Solihull Motors. I should start the Solihull talk with an apology. I need to issue a full and frank apology. Help the Hatters did their regular clean-up on Tuesday morning, and they posted a picture of a pallet with about 50 bin bags of rubbish. Now, I'm pretty certain 47 of them bin bags were my fingernails. So, just gonna apologise to everyone at Help the Hatters. Oh, what a day! What a day!
It was
nothing left.
No, I didn't. I weren't physically there. You obviously, I was at work and that. I was listening to it on my radio and that. I had a big headset on, so no one else could hear. So it was definitely silent at work and that. So as soon as the goal went in, nearly gave two people a heart attack around me. But it was just it was just more relief than anything. I don't know about you guys, but almost emotional, wasn't it, when that ball went in? And credit to credit's due, with the Beaver nodding it over the line and stuff for us, Brilliant that from Paddy. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was
absolute class.
It's they're the type of games that win you championships, aren't they? Where you win those, especially after missing the penalty. I think you said straight away, Nick, didn't you? The title of the podcast this week could be "Champions Tend to Find a Way," or that's what I've called this episode anyway. So, and that's what we do. I mean, again, there's quite a lot to say on this. I mean, they were really organised. They are good. People call them anti-football, but it's just a different way of playing football. They survive like that. They're not going to go up like that, I wouldn't have thought, but they're going to do well.
I watched them against Wrexham on Friday. Well, our game was on against Grimsby. I watched them against Wrexham, and it was just the same. It was absolutely horrible. And they probably, I know they're doing all right anyway, but they'd probably be in with a shout of top 3 if they kind of canned a lot of the shit out of it. And because they've got some very good footballers in that side. The goalkeeper in particular, I think him and Hinchliffe are probably the best 2 in the league. Yeah, they've got some really good players, but they just seem to be persisting with this anti-football. And I'll be really annoyed if it does get them up. For the last few weeks, I've kind of wanted Solihull to win the playoffs just because it'd be funny, wouldn't it?
It would be funny, to be fair.
Chesterfield, Wrexham, and Notts County, and Halifax all missed out.
If Solihull or Halifax won the playoffs,
but even Halifax, I see them as a football league club, so that won't be as much of an upset because they deserve to be there, arguably, after what they've been through. But for Solihull I was kind of hoping they'd do a Sutton, but now I couldn't be doing with that, and I didn't think they were very well. I know they don't get massive crowds anyway. I thought they were poorly supported on Monday. I thought the turnout was very small.
But
if the league ended now, who would you say? Who would you want to go up in the playoffs? Would it be Solihull or?
Who would you want to go up?
Yeah, who would you want to go up with County if the league finished now? On this, it's a hard one, isn't it?
Probably Halifax for Warburton.
Dagenham to come in on last day and steal it.
yeah.
There you go. Gotcha, bitch.
I don't know because I don't really care to a certain extent, but I do. I'm an old romantic. I do like the bigger clubs being in the leagues that they should be in. So Chesterfield, Notts County, Grimsby, Wrexham. I would like to see them back in the Football League, but if we're champions, don't really care after that. To be quite honest with you,
as soon as we've won it, I'm just switching off. I'm just turning all my devices off the minute we win it. Like, done, completed it.
But yeah, I mean, Solihull, I quite like the way they play because it is shithousery. It's stubborn. It's organised. I'm just glad that we beat them in the end. Their fans' reaction when the goal went in, especially that there was some big dude at the back who was waving his arms around literally all match.
Yeah,
giving.
It was like one of the wacky wailing, flailing, inflatable tube
It's about inflatable.
Yeah. Just outside a used car sales place.
Yeah.
And when the goal went in, it looked like someone had put a big slice down him.
Went down like a balloon.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean they were quite good. The reason why we passed it round at the back a lot, I felt, was that when we were doing that, they were just closing down all the doors, the avenues, and it was quite a good game of football, to be honest, at this level.
The two best pressing sides in the league, facing off against each other. That was. I thought their pressing was awesome, and even when we got past it, they didn't look tired. It was just constant. It took a couple of very good substitutions to make the difference in the end. Hippolyte kind of got in between the lines and found a bit of space.
Yeah.
But Frank Shaw was a nuisance as well, wasn't he? So
when that goal went in, I just had a vision in my head, like, of all the haters from other teams have already pre-typed out their responses on Facebook, and then they've gone, as soon as that ball went in, they're like, oh, fuck, delete.
Yeah.
The whole of Wrexham has logged onto Facebook and kind of gone, oh, is the internet not working in Stockport? And then waiting to press enter. Yeah. Because I went on the Wrexham forum, Red Passion, the message board, and they were so deflated. So deflated at that last minute goal. It's fantastic to see and brilliant. Yeah, so pissed off.
Yeah, I listened to our friends at Fearless in Devotion, and they said they just took this wind out of their sails.
Yeah,
they were.
I was worrying at 0-0 with Wrexham 4 up after 6 minutes or whatever the hell it was. I was thinking, oh god, this is. I wasn't at the stage where I was thinking, oh, we're bottling it, but I was like, well, if we lose at Wrexham, we're in trouble. Yeah. That's the way I was seeing it. So the relief when the goal did go in, the absolute scenes. It was up there. Probably one of the biggest limbs moments since Curzon for me, and Bolton obviously. But in terms of the league game,
the third goal at Bolton, definitely.
It's funny because
I normally say to Dan, should we go down to the front, at 88, 89 minutes? And we normally do that. Honestly, I'm learning that Dan is becoming a very good judge of football and how games are going to go and what's left and things. And
someone in the family should.
Well, someone's got to do, haven't they? Yeah. And he looked at me and he went, no, well, should we stay? And I'm like, yeah, if you want to, I'll stay. I'm not bothered. So, yeah, we were part of the limbs. Otherwise, we'd have been down at the bottom. Part of the limbs, probably. But yeah, it was fantastic. There is a comment that just come in that I wanted to ping up, actually. SK8, will anyone else cry if we get promoted? Yeah. I've said it for a long time. I said it in 2016. If it ever happened, probably.
This Cheadle boy says yes.
Yeah,
Cheadle's SK8, Russ. I know you wouldn't know outside of your Bredbury bubble.
I'm a Cheadle boy as well.
Oh, posh lads. You posh lads.
Hume, Heath, or just Cheadle?
Well, Gatley. Oh, hang on, boys. Hang on. Steady on, all right. Proper posh boy.
I'm all the
cash Handsworth when I went to living in just outside Fleetwood, didn't I? Christ.
You and your train station in Gatley, you shit houses. Show offs.
Even the seagulls fly upside down around there.
But yes, there will be tears. There will absolutely be tears. No, Waggy, don't say Cheadle Hume boy as well. There's no as well. We're not Cheadle Hume. We're scum. We're Cheadle. Not Cheadle Heath. That's proper scum.
There is levels. There is levels.
It's Hume, Cheadle, Heath. That's the way. That's the socio-economic rundown of the Cheadles for you. Because we had this discussion in pre-match on Monday, didn't we? We were talking about Cheadle, and you said, "Oh, he's from Cheadle. He's quite posh about someone."
Oh yeah.
No, it's not. I went to a state school.
Okay.
I got my milk from Spa on Council Lane.
I used to go to Lady Bard House. I posh me when I went to private school till about 7, but obviously moved over to the Foul Coast over here, and went to a normal school there. It was parents' evening, fully enough, and my mum and dad turned around to the teacher. The teacher went, "Where exactly has your lad come from?" And so they explained, and he went, "Oh, that would explain it, because he's putting his hand up to go to a loo whilst he's a kid throwing a brick around the classroom." There we go. That's it. I'm like Hovis, the best of both worlds. That's what I like.
I like that.
Oh, that's some top geographical banter. That we should do this every week. We should just pick an area of Stockport and just slag it off every week.
Could do.
Coming for you, Bradbury.
Yeah, get everybody get involved in the comments.
Yeah, we'll be on it.
But yes, to answer the question that precipitated that shambles over the last 5 minutes, yes, there'll be tears. There's going to be tears. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I can attend Edgeley Park nowadays. I've only been back in the country 2 years, living in Australia for a few years, so it's been great to be back at the home of Edgeley Park. Stockport County.
But living in Australia, you'd know the results 24 hours earlier, though. So swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to be good on the maths to see what time kickoffs were. I've actually got a funny story about this. So I met a lass in Australia. So I was going to meet a dad for the first time. It was one of those what's your intentions for my daughter type chat. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be hard work. Like, so it was absolutely in the middle of nowhere. There was not a house within 2 miles. It was literally ding 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 ding. It was like in the middle of nowhere. So I've just about got reception. So I'm eyeing up the time. It was because it was pissed by this point, and I was looking at the clock thinking, I need Stockport on now. I'm looking at the time, looking very disinterested. And then the next minute I can hear this like scratching at the door. I'm like, that's a bit strange. What's going on here? It's one of those fly doors. Another scratching at the door. I was like, is someone trying to get in here? Next minute, a kangaroo flew into the living room. I couldn't even make this up if I tried. I can imagine what I'm like. I made some ungodly noise, and I'm over tables and chairs, and the dad's pulling me back. He's like, no, son, no, this is Jill the kangaroo. I'm like, so I'm there feeding it bread at like 3 o'clock in the morning whilst I'm trying to listen to Stockport County. Couldn't make this up, honest to God. It was crazy. And yeah, me and the kangaroo became best mates. It was great, yeah.
Became best mates.
Honest to God.
Just while we're just to interlude there, Ryan, if you're gonna suggest slagging off Brinny, because I am from Brinny, at least spell off right. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Oh, I've got my high pitched noise back. I tried doing it after the game on Monday. My high pitched voice went.
I say I'm from Brinny. I'm not from Brinny. I'm from Shore Reef, Bridgehall, then Brinny, then Bredbury. But
I'm Shore Reef originally.
Nice.
Done the rounds.
Lowfield Road, massive.
I'm just Shore Reef, the main road. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. Good. Nice
there we go.
Well,
yeah, cheers. Not well done, is it? But yeah, cheers. Right, Solihull then. Anything more about Solihull?
Did anyone have a feeling he missed the penalty? Did you have a feeling the penalty had been missed?
No, not at all. No,
I don't
didn't
know
either. And then it was. I think there was a beaver popping up for that one and all.
Yeah. I don't know. I was as soon as I knew the penalty was in play, I was like, I stopped everything I was doing at work and I was thinking, this is going to be saved. I thought this is going to be saved. I don't know why. I just thought it's just our luck. This won't go in. And so it's my fault, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's my fault.
We've got to blame someone, haven't we?
Yeah, that's it. I'll take it on the chin, boys. Don't worry.
Well, what I liked about his post-match was he just said it was a poor penalty. Sometimes it happens. And that's that. I think we said it before, how professional he is and how sort of determined he is. He probably, luckily for us, he didn't dwell on that, and he went and had however many shots he had, and one of them went in. He could be the type of player that let it get to him and go inside himself, that kind of thing, and we wouldn't have scored that goal at the end. So
Are you want to just hit him down the centre? Are you just? Do you just hit? You got to have balls, ain't you, to hit it straight down the centre, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's what I do. I twat it down the middle every time, mate.
Because if the goalkeeper don't move, he looks a bigger idiot, doesn't he?
That's it. He looks a right pillock if he just stands there in the middle, looking like Gimp.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the body language, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a poor penalty. He admitted it. Fair dues. We won the match. We move on, don't we? I do like the memes that are coming out with the beaver, though. Seeing those over the past 24 hours, they've been pretty good.
Was I right in thinking that David Platt was at the game? I'm sure I saw a tweet with.
Yeah, saw a picture of him. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, he was in main stand.
The one from Coronation Street.
No.
A genuine question.
Was it David Platt in Corrie? Was it not Nicky Platt? Or is that someone else? Or did he play for us?
That's his brother.
But we had a Nicky Platt.
Nicky Platt did also play for us in the National League North.
Right, yeah.
No, he had a good hit from long range, he did.
Right. But yeah, David Platt was there. Saw the picture, yeah.
You've answered my question. From Coronation Street or the footballer?
No, the footballer. Scored in the quarter-final of the 1990 World Cup.
Yeah, well, I was only 3 then, mate. He scored the first ever game I went to at Wembley. I went to watch England in '95 against Hungary, and David Platt scored 2 then.
Nice.
So I'm surprised he didn't mention that when he came. Is that little fecky twatty who got travel sick on the way to Wembley?
Oh, brilliant.
Good stuff. Right. Should we move on then to? Have we covered everything for Solihull? Anything more for Solihull?
We've got the aftermath of Solihull. The players were treated to a trip to Garamsara in Chile.
Yes, they were. Yes. Which,
if you've not been to Garamsara, you should go because it's quality. Cheers, lads. I'll have them extra 2 poppadoms next time I'm in. Thank you. Which I kind of want people to suggest what they think each player would order. I think Paddy Madden ordered a korma and then slopped it all down his front before managing to finish it late on. And then ran round the restaurant non-stop. But other than that, I've got nothing.
What I kind of found quite interesting was because obviously we see them just in the county kit or the county training stuff. Yeah. The dress sense was some it's out there.
Footballers have no dress sense, do they?
Absolutely out there, wasn't it? Loafers on or hippo with footy ripped jeans or some quality. I don't know. It's how you look at it in a different styles and that.
Can we use the Vita dollars to get them some trousers that fit for a start? It's so fun. I thought I showed it to my girlfriend, the picture of all the players, and the only 2 whose clobber, because I'm cool, I say clobber now. The only people who she approved of was Hinchliffe and Minihan. She's very much one for the old guard. My girlfriend is, I think, yeah. But other than that, she was like, no, not.
I mean, just showing your bare ankles. Not your lots of ankles, your actual bare ankles.
Yeah. I can't do that in my religion.
What's your religion?
I'm not allowed. Maddenism. Yes, that's a good. Right, I've been waiting for this. We're already.
We're already getting them in, aren't we? Yeah, we're already getting them in. You flash them up. Omelette and chips is very popular.
There's someone in there because they're the worst people. When you go out for a curry,
they have English,
and then one of your mates says, "Oh, I don't like curry." I used to go to the Shamir in Cheadle when it was open, and on the menu where it had English dishes, it said underneath, for those who are feeling a little less adventurous. I was like, oh, snap! You've told them, haven't you? So I think there is someone in it. Yes, Matthew Padfield, you are spot on. Collar and Croasdale order the exact same thing. This is the type of stuff.
That's the stuff we want. That's the stuff we want. Come on.
They either order the same things, or they order two separate things and share them.
Yes, yeah. Just pass it to each other. Quickly orders a vindaloo and sneaks some of the sauce into other people's curries. That's the type of shithousery we've come to expect.
Shithousery.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. But I don't know who'd order the English food in there. I don't know who'd be the one to go, yeah, can I have some chicken wings, please, mate? Can I have like egg and chips? I don't know.
It's hard to tell, innit? It's hard to tell. We've definitely had those sort of characters in the past, haven't we? Yeah, it's hard to tell. I like this feature, though. We should think of a similar one for every week, where we can get everybody commenting on different things.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've got an envisage in my head of just like Hinchcliffe coming out the kitchen, like balancing two plates on like that. I've got these boys, don't worry. Like, take tables. I just don't know why.
Do you reckon someone like knocked the pickle tray over and Hinchcliffe's like, hey, I've got it.
You've got it, yeah.
Ethan Ross legging it 60 yards up the restaurant to try and get it. Well, yeah, got it. What else have we got?
Was Challoner there, or was it just the players?
Well, no. They invited Simon Rusk down, and according to Simon Lomas, he ordered the hottest thing on the menu to try and fit in, and wilted under the pressure of trying to be cool. Can I have another pint of milk, please?
Brilliant. Oh dear me.
Salem Hales will order whatever Quiggs does, and fanboy is good taste.
Some brilliant ones.
Yeah. Well, someone suggested that McGee had eat all the leftovers, but he wouldn't because he's converted to Islam. If you believe, he's observing Ramadan at the moment. Dave Challoner politely utters "Cheers, thank you" as the waiters deliver each dish. Yeah, and everyone sniggers. You know when you're working in the service industry, either in a shop or a restaurant or a bar, and you can tell that people are taking the piss out of you. I've had it before where someone's called me Harry Potter. I was working on a bar, and it's like busy, like gone midnight, like closing time. Someone comes, "Oi, Harry Potter, can I have a pint next?" It's like, not now, you can't. No. You think you'll just ignore them taking a piss out of you? But I was like, no. And then I told everyone else on the bar to not serve him, and like ruined his weekend.
All right, Quiggers.
Even now, I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
I think the final one on the curries is from Mike Fitzgerald. Hippolyte doesn't know his best meal, so orders one of each.
I like that. That's good.
That's good. Oh, brilliant. Keep them coming, and we might tweet some of the best ones. Oh, we might not. I don't know. We might forget.
We might not.
Yeah, Russ will be too busy arguing with Grimsby fans.
Got work tomorrow. Okay, move on then, shall we? Stewarding. Should we give stewarding a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
I think it needs more than a couple of minutes, but we're not the people to do it. We've got a thriving supporters cooperative to take up that kind of mantle.
We have, and when I said a couple of minutes, I don't want to spend too long on this because we're all upbeat and everything's going well for us. The stewarding,
and we can't solve it.
I know, we can't solve it, no. But the stewarding is getting heavy-handed again. So, I mean, you saw a bit more of it than I did this time, Nick, at Solihull. I don't know, do you want to...
Yeah, well, I was sat in lower tier 6, like right near the front I was, near the corner flag. Not long into the second half, pretty much everyone rose up to look at something towards the Cheadle End entrance. And from what I've seen online, someone was taking a bit of a battering from stewards who had his arms held behind his back and were giving him a kicking. By the sounds of it, like I said, apparently there's a video of it floating around on the Facebook group, but I've not seen it myself. I don't know. It's very, very peculiar, but it did. I did hear one steward on the concourse saying to another, passing a walkie-talkie to another one. And I must point out, these are the new security. This isn't the tried and tested stewards that people know by name and get on well with. these are the people who've been bussed in from Lancashire or wherever. But one of them passed another one a walkie-talkie and said, "Oh, give me a shout if it kicks off." So you're on the concourse, mate. When has it ever kicked off on the concourse? It's very odd, very odd. So I don't know if. Not sure if the club are aware, because it seemed as though we mentioned it on the show a few weeks ago when there was a bit of stewarding overkill, and then the following week it kind of got sorted a bit. But I just worry about the Torquay and Halifax games in particular, because there's the potential there for flashpoints.
They're going to be busy, aren't they? Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna try and stop people going on the pitch after the Halifax game, and they might as well just embrace it. Just let people go on the pitch, have a dance about, lift the players up, and then sort out a trophy presentation after that. Do the trophy presentation in the main stand like they did in 91, whatever.
I think it's all about picking your battles, isn't it? Pick your battles.
Yeah.
And I think you touched on it maybe on your last podcast or one before, where you're talking about the fact that we need to self-police it almost. Volunteers maybe, or some people who are going to be in the same sort of area, who can be the intermediate, if you will, between the stewards and the people who are kicking off, because there is going to be obviously beer involved. People are going to have a good time. I don't know how it's going to be. I mean, we're in a great run of form. We're in the best position ever. We're at the top of the league, going to football. What if it was the opposite? And we like a few years ago, and there's this amount of fans. What's the effect going to be then? There's loads of if, buts, and maybes. But I think we need that intermediary. Because this is my area, innit? Let's face it. You need that intermediary between whoever's kicking off, or the little group of lads, and the stewards aren't the best. They are, they do a job, but I don't know.
It's a good time to clarify, but as David Wright points out, the bouncers, not stewards, and I've not seen a badge number on any of them. It seems like they're actively going out of the way to cover the badges up. I mean, it's a bit of a grey area legally whether they have to show the badges at football games or not. But from what I've seen from people on Facebook who've contacted the company are claiming that the badges are constantly on show, when I've seen with my own eyes that's definitely not the case. So, no, it's going to be very very interesting to see what happens next few weeks, because it does seem as though it was getting sorted. But once again, there's been reports of people having stewards coming up to them outside. Well, I keep saying stewards. They're not. I can't make it clear enough the difference between the people who you've seen there for 20 years and help you to your seat, to these people causing trouble.
Crowd control,
if you call it that.
Yeah. It's a major Tom.
Is that what they're meant to do? There's a lot of them who look like they're on community service and don't seem to know what they're meant to be doing. They're just walking around aimlessly, looking gormless.
I was in a local bar the other week and I was in my colours and that, and bumped into a guy who worked behind the bar. He says, "Oh, I'm working the I think it was a Stockport Knots game or something." He said, "Oh, I'm working the Knots game on security." Because they're working behind the bar, so it leads me to wonder what. Obviously, it's a part-time thing where they're just being dragged in as numbers or visual deterrents or whatever you want to call them to work at, and they've not really got the same experience as the people that have been there, or the companies that actually pride themselves in looking after local football grounds. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's such a shame, because the club have put a massive effort into getting people in the ground early and spending the money in the ground. They're matching the prices of pints on Edgeley. They've done the concourse up. They show the live lunchtime game on the tellies there and everything. And I mean, just as the earliest I've ever been in the ground on Saturday at 1:30, just to watch this parade of dickheads looking for trouble. Monday, sorry, yeah. Just watching them just go by in high vis, just looking for trouble. Why would anyone want to go in that early if that's what it's going to be like?
Yeah, I think we said last time, didn't we? Look, if anyone's listening from the club, sort it out. Don't wait for an email from the co-op, because
come on in and have a chat with us about it. Our door's open. If you want to come on and chat about anything, any county stuff, just shoot us an email or a tweet or get us on Facebook or whatever, and you can come on and have a chat about it, because something needs to be done, and we're not far away from a major flashpoint.
Yeah, anything like a solution is better than a cure, I've always said. So that's the key. That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Then something else. I know. I don't really want to end on a negative, and maybe we won't. But day trippers as well. And I've written down here just one sentence. I don't mind them, but there are rules that they need to follow.
Yeah.
Like not wearing your shirt if the club that you support. Not just generally not being a dickhead. If you sat behind, if you sat in the vicinity of county fans. Chloe Beresford, friend of the podcast, who comes on regular, she said that someone was in her vicinity. And the amount of rubbish they were spouting, this it's almost like this. I think it was this expectance of scoring goals or it's expectance of quality. You've got to remember it's National League football. What do you expect and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that'd be my thing. You're more than welcome to. We'll have your money definitely, but you're going to get called out if you start spouting crap, basically.
Yeah. It's a big one with the colours as well, because that's going to intensify the crowd, and then stewards are going to have to get involved. It's like a snowball effect. Then, it's just a no bringing other colours into the ground. It's just a no.
I did feel sorry for the fantastic effort that Co-op and the club do in conjunction to get kids into the pop side, and the amount of them who were dragged out by the parents with like a minute to go to beat the traffic. I just thought, they're going to remember that as just a 0-0 draw.
Well, or they might remember it as my mum dragged me out and we missed a goal. Take me back. Oh, not that. Take me back again when there's another home match, perhaps. Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
Nice. Yeah. I don't think I think the only time I've left early is we've been like 5-0 down at home. I think that's the only time I've left early. Even
the only time I've left early was Rochdale at home 7-2 at 6 something, whatever 6 was.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you need to
don't be knobheads, day trippers. That's the lesson here.
Yeah, get involved. Don't sit there slagging off every passage of play, not knowing who players' names are, despite them having names on the backs. Oh, Righty's gone. We've lost Righty.
He's had enough.
He's had enough. Yeah, I'm sure.
We've triggered him. I think he's a secret United fan.
Yeah, and yeah, just let us know. So yeah, it's a good point.
Apologies about that. I'm back.
All right. Gazek, atmosphere was poor on Monday, maybe nerves, and as the drum was moved as well. So the drum was moved. I wouldn't say stupid position. It was purposely. I think the lads did it on purpose.
Yeah, it's
like a baby.
From what Harry said on Twitter, it is what he mentioned last week, having to babysit. We need people to be getting behind the team, not spending the time babysitting. But I was sat in lower tier 6, and it did seem quieter than normal. But I don't normally sit there, so I just thought, well, that's how it always sounds down there. But obviously not.
Yeah, well, just going back to the day trippers, we had, my mate who I go with, Edgy, he had, he sits where, he didn't sit in his seats that he was allocated, so that's the first thing I've got to say, but he sat where he normally sits every week, 1 or 2 rows in front of me with his lads. 4 day trippers came up, 2 couples, you're sat in my seat. Edgy says, I sit here every week. That escalated to the point where the chief steward comes along, who we know from Brinny, Matty Newton. So he was talking to him, saying, "Look, Matty, I sit here every week." Matty's going, "Look, don't be a dick. Let's just move. It's going to escalate." So Edgy moved in the end. But these 4 people then, throughout the match, didn't do anything, didn't clap. I mean, I wasn't watching him like all the match, but
I would have been
like a hawk. But as well, when we scored, I think only one of them stood up, because I only know that because Edgy shouted me and said when we scored, Ross, they're not even cheering like that. I'm like, all right, yeah, cheers, Edgy, and then just like carried on.
The more I get to know Edgy, the more I love him.
He's great, Edgy. But we're going to get that. We're going to get that, aren't we? We're going to get people coming who think they're above their station. This is coming to county is below them because it's National League football.
The songs have got swearing in them.
Well, yeah, I know it's going to be a bedlam, but it's genuine. They think they are above this standard of football because they watch United on the telly or City on the telly.
Yeah. Well, me and you had this conversation on WhatsApp before, didn't we, Ross? Where it's like there's almost like 2 schools at the moment. There's the City fan attitude of oh, we'll go and help County out. Like,
Yeah.
we'll help our little non-league team out. And there's the new United attitude of, oh shit, it's Glazer out season, so let's go and watch some other football. But even then, they'll be taking the piss. Like, oh, do they even have seats in that stadium? How can I get a seat? And all stuff like that. It's like, well, we don't want either of you. If you're going to come and be respectful and you're open to being converted, then by all means. But if you're going to be United fans slagging us off after you've been offered a ticket, then just fuck off and watch one of the two teams that have been created specifically for you.
For you, yeah.
Two clubs there that's playing red. If you want to go for the non-league experience, there's FC United. If you want something a bit closer to the Premier League and you want to get a glimpse of Gary Neville of a Saturday afternoon, then sod off to Salford. But don't be bothering with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's your take, Righty? What do you think?
I'm all for enticing new fan, to increase the fan base. That's not what we're about. That's not what we're saying here, is it?
No.
Basically, we're not discouraging people to come. I think you hit the nail on the head with the first statement. You said there are certain rules. If you are going to come and watch us and you don't support us, but you're coming for a day out, by all means, just don't wear your coloured kits. Don't give us shit and leave our seats alone. And leave our seats alone.
That's podcast title.
How people can watch Harry Maguire week in, week out and pay money for the privilege and then come and take the piss out of us baffles me. There's no self-awareness whatsoever.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't know why. I mean, can't complain in the Euros. He actually played half decent. I don't know what's...
Well,
it's great for England.
For England, he's
for
great.
England, yeah. Which leads me to believe that maybe he's not the problem.
Oof, there we go. Well, that's a different podcast for a different day.
Yeah. That's for the summer, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Look, Nick the Red is off again.
I'm just slagging him off.
I know.
I just it's normally my slagging off gets me there for City. I switch it around, I still can't win.
I think he's supposed to say that's Nick. He's off his head, not on red.
Yeah, in a good way, as the older lad said.
Right, final thing. Righty, let's talk a bit about you. Why the hell do you support Stockport County? I want to know. Oh, you're from Cheadle, aren't you?
What curry do you order?
I think, well, my dad's been a follower for 73 years. He's, bless him, he's 83 now. He's a dithering old sod, but getting to the games and getting back, and he loves it. We've got like a big group of us now that go from Prince and that. But just kind of followed it. Where I sat, it's a bit nostalgic, really. Almost where I could sit in the Cheadle end, I used to be able to see my grand's house. So I used to go to my grand's house, have a bite to eat. She used to buy me my season ticket as a young kid and that, and I used to walk around to Edgeley Park. So it just become a bit of a ritual, if you will. The only reason I've not got a season ticket at the moment is because I play quite high-standard cricket, you see. So I kind of like miss the first couple and miss the last, but I'm going to get one for next season, and I don't care about missing the first because it gets you your tickets that you want, doesn't it? So, but yeah, I had a nice little day the other day with my dad. It was his birthday, 83rd birthday. So 70 years a county fan.
Wow.
So I got
brilliant.
Got him a shirt drawn up from the club and got in touch with Steve Bellis, who thank you ever so much. And my nephew Greg got it all embroidered for him with his company. And then we went into the suite in Cheadle End, and Dave Challoner presented it with his chat before the game. It was quite a nice moment. He had no clue what was going on. Honest to God, you've heard of the phrase "wasp in winter." Well, that was my dad. Didn't have a clue what the hell was going on. He was like, "What am I doing?" Like, and he's going up, and I don't think he slept since, to be fair. But he's had a wicked time. But yeah, it's steeped in my heart is county, and I've always the only time I had a little bit of a time away is obviously with Sale Sharks. I spending a lot of money traveling, and it really it griped me really. So I just as soon as they were out, I was back in again. It's not that I didn't love county or anything, but I think that was again touching on worst times in football. I can take a team getting relegated if they're not good enough, or getting promoted when they're good enough, but it's when external factors, when the foundations aren't there, when fundamentals are in place for a football club to survive and thrive. When they're not there, it broke my heart a little bit. So, but good times are here, and hopefully to stay. And yeah, just can't wait to get back in. I don't think I'm missing many games. I think I missed the Boreham Wood game. I think that's the only game I missed now to the end of the season. But other than that, I should be at every one, providing I can get tickets. So I'm borrowing and stealing at the moment. So yeah, best get your cameras up, Russ, because I might be burgling your house.
They're already up, mate.
He's had me round, so ever since I've been on the first time, cameras have gone up.
Yeah.
So you live in is it Fleetwood? You live in?
I live in Cleveland, just between Blackpool and Fleetwood. Yeah. So
that's a bit of a trek for every home match, isn't it? It's almost like it's an away match every home match, isn't it?
Yeah, I jump on the train usually. If it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, I jump on the train. If it's a late one, I get my dad to drive, so then I can get smashed. Sambucas. Woo!
Nice.
But yeah, in my cricket, it's fair with me playing my cricket. I've played cricket against a couple of county lads. One being John Ardiker. I used to play in a local team. Used to play against him a fair bit, and Andy Priest. He played.
Nice.
So I played against a couple of them, county faithfuls, you know.
So when you emailed me to say, because I purposely give you a hoop to jump through, because what people do is they say they want to come on, but then they don't really tell me what they can bring to the show and things like that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. So you did, but you told me you used to be a professional cricket player.
Yeah, so well, funny enough, I just got a phone call one day and said there's a couple of teams interested in you in Australia. I was like, oh, okay, that happens every day. And then, so yeah, I went off for about 4 or 5 months to Western Australia and enjoyed it. Absolutely loved it. You know, I was out there and ended up meeting the lass at the time. And best thing is, if you ever do break up with a girl, make sure she lives 12,500 miles away from you. But anyhow, that's a different story for another day. So yeah, it was fantastic, and I loved the lifestyle out there. It was brilliant, red hot, and I went back and I did some of there, some of here, some of there. So missed a lot of county matches, albeit kept on the radio and that, and kept in touch and what was going on. Didn't seem to miss much down in the Conference North and that, but yeah, it's I love my cricket. That's my vice, if you will. I was about to start. First game of season's on Saturday, so need to be up for it.
We do have a lot of we've got a lot of Australian viewers and listeners, haven't we, Russ?
Have we?
I've actually seen this. I've seen this. Yeah, took notes of it.
Quite a few. In we've got Bilby off the yellow. We've got Sydney Exile. I think there's a Sydney Hatter as well. There's a. And when I look at our, what's the word? The thing that you look
our data, our analytics.
Analytics is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. I knew it had anal in it. So I was looking through them, and yeah, there's a lot of Australia. So good day, lads. Although they'll have already seen this 24 hours ago. So
yeah, we did quite well for that, don't we? We've got people in the USA as well that watch us. Matt Bryan's in Florida.
Do you want a list of the countries? Yeah, Matt Bryan and Dave Maxwell both representing in Florida and California, respectively.
Southeast Asia, we've got Jonathan Fairfield. Oh, what are the others called? I know the others.
Oh. Who've we got in Singapore, mate? Come on.
So hard to remember everyone's name. What? Who?
It's Andy Goodliff in Singapore.
Andy Goodliff.
I wasn't even on that episode.
Stadio Junkie as well in the USA. Stadio Junkie.
Yeah, that's Dave Maxwell.
Oh, did you already say him? Okay, right. Yes.
Got our friend from Iceland as well, haven't we?
Yes, Goodley, who I was privileged to meet the other week. And he made me feel like a celebrity for a moment. And Russ wasn't there. I got recognised without Russ there for once. We've got listeners in Ireland. I'm assuming that's Paddy Madden's family. Spain, Thailand, Norway, the United Arab Emirates. See, there's Simon B in Sydney.
Yeah,
there you go.
Good morning, Simon. Yeah.
Isle of Man, Mexico.
Who's Mexico? If you are that person from Mexico who lives in Mexico, let us know.
Maybe it's the cartels.
Yeah.
I've been watching Better Call Saul this week, so
there is a Facebook page that's just been created. That's the Stockport County Uruguayan fans, and I've liked them, and off our account they've liked back. That'd be great to get them on, wouldn't it?
Well, I
Everything
was very
screwed up.
proud the other week. I met the Bergara family at the launch of Bergara Gin, and some of them have the most fantastic Sheffield accents. There was a lady, and I apologise because I didn't get your name because I was so blindsided by her telling me how much she enjoyed the show, and she said it was on her Spotify Wrapped. No, it was her number one on her Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year. So I was so blindsided, but she had the most fantastic Sheffield accent. The Bergara family have got this like Sheffield accent thing going on. It's amazing. I love it. I'm totally here for it. But yeah, we've got Akito in Japan.
We've got Akito in Japan.
And Rishi. But Netherlands, Sweden, Russia, Canada, Austria, Romania, Egypt, Japan. This is the best World Cup draw ever.
But look, I love this comment as well from Eladis. They're all just using VPNs, lads.
Absolutely.
They probably are out there. We're going
we just
on
spent 10 minutes naming all these countries and it's a VPN, isn't it?
We're global. We're all using VPNs.
What? You mean no one's listening in Nepal? and Morocco and Cape Verde, the Cape Verde Islands and Niger. Dominican Republic, anyone? Hello, Trinidad.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Yeah. I do also like the demographics, according to Spotify, is 84% male, 13% female. I'm quite. But is it all just people with fake accounts masquerading? Is it actually 84% female and 13% male?
Depends what they identify as.
Yeah. Or
maybe identify as a refrigerator or something.
Because if you're a proper creep or something, then you might pretend to be. There's a few profiles that follow us on Twitter where it's like it's a woman, and then you think it's not, though, is it? You're not. You're on Twitter for nefarious reasons.
Oh, damn.
Right, should we wrap it up there? Some admin?
It's the best place. Now we've just alienated our global audience. There's people sat there. There's people right now sat in Luxembourg going, "How dare you say that I'm using a VPN?" Yeah, the 3% for the people who are asking, the 3% of the male female, not specified. So there's no satire to be had there. The bloody woke agenda. Admin, Russell.
Admin, yeah. The only one I've got is that the Ben Walker's Wardy and Lordy night is coming up soon, but I don't know when. That's all I've got.
It's the 13th. Halifax game is Sunday the 15th. Friday the 13th is the night with Wardy and special guests that I don't think have been named yet, Russell.
So before this cat goes out of the bag.
That's the Friday night. So go to the Stockport County shirt collection and get your tickets for that via Eventbrite. And then I think the party is just continuing across that whole weekend because we'll be also in Notion, won't we, on the Sunday morning?
We will be. Assuming we are champions, which it's looking more likely with every passing week, we are going to set ourselves up in Notion from probably 12 till 2 o'clock. We'd love people to come and visit us. Basically, what we're going to do is might do a live show. I'm not sure yet. Might do it pre-recorded, but I want to interview different people who listen to the show and just get your sort of view of how the season's gone, what it means to you, all that kind of stuff.
That's one reason. That's one reason to do it, but the reasons are actually twofold. Because the second reason is so that our listeners in Sri Lanka, Argentina, Iran, Malaysia, and Morocco, and Australia, of course, because we've actually got listeners there, so they can feel a part of the whole promotion vibe.
Sorry, yes, that is another good reason. Yes, that is another good reason.
They can feel like they're at the party. So that'd be a good reason to do it live, I think.
Yes, to bring the exiles closer to what is happening and a bit of the atmosphere. Yeah, absolutely.
And, we're slightly still on the subject of the county shirts evening there with Peter Ward and guests. We'll be giving away a pair of tickets next week. So
Yes.
make sure to watch live next week, and we will. We'll probably give you like 24 hours after to still enter, so that people who can't watch live aren't excluded from it. Well, that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're giving them tickets, Russ.
I
What
know.
more can they ask for?
Russ, I think you need fan cam for the games.
Oh.
Just go,
No.
go live at the games.
I don't want people seeing me.
No, well, no, I draw the line. I have thought about it honestly, right? And then when I've picked up I've got a little thing that holds my phone that I could do it with, you know, like. And when I've picked it up in the house to go pre-match, I've just picked it up, looked at it, and gone, "No, you're 41. Put it down."
Why don't
I'll
you
leave
get
that
a
to the kids.
cam?
I'll leave it to the kids.
Get a helmet cam like that Francis Gimp who goes chasing around after trains. He's not a gimp because he goes chasing around after trains. You do what you want. He's a gimp because he's not actually what he says he is.
Yes, no, that's right. He's a model, isn't he?
Yeah, these bloody models.
Nicky Sweeney West. Oh God, not another competition. That's what I thought when Nick said we should do another competition.
This one's going to be straightforward. You don't have to. All you've got to do.
The famous last words.
I'll say a keyword on the show.
A safe word.
A safe word. Yeah. Like me and Russ do when we're having our special Thursday nights. We'll say a safe word, and then you can just comment. And anyone who comments the word I've said will be in with a chance. We're not. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. We found a way we can pick a comment that will win, that won't backfire like last time. So it's all going to be okay. Just stick with us, guys. It's going to be like, we'll look after you. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Before we get onto the LP Fan Hub, nearly 1,000 fans in Fan Hub now, and yeah, keep getting involved. I know loads of people do, so it's really good, and it is getting bigger and bigger every single week. So yeah, keep on doing that. Thank you to everybody that does that. What is the album?
Well, first, yes, the winner did come forward from last week.
Oh, yes, it did, yes.
You're going to see some pictures because people I don't think people believe us. So we're going to be meeting up with him probably next week and doing some pictures with him and Andy, and we'll probably be on the pictures as well, just to bookend the thing.
Yes, and it's worth saying as well, Nick, he's a proper county fan. He's got the latest shirt and everything. And he on his profile picture.
Which makes the competition a bit redundant.
Well, look, he can have another shirt, can't he? But the fact is, it's not some whopper who's like Pogboom 10 numbers or something, is it? You know.
No, I gave his profile a very good comb before. I think like the sex crimes unit of the Metropolitan Police don't go combing that far into people's histories and stuff. I was Googling him just to check there was no like historic convictions related to like hooliganism at a Man United game. I've done my homework. It's fine. Well, we're on the admin. Jonathan the Geordie Hatter is back this Saturday with the County Away Day show. Subscribe to the Geordie Hatter on the Mixer app, and that is from 9:30. And his special guest this Saturday, this guy.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you've not had enough of whatever I've done for the last hour and a half here, then
it's like Christmas, isn't it? It's like a rare treat. It's like they get to see your fight. It's just double dose, mate. Double dose.
Well, they don't have to see me on that. It's just audio. Oh. Jamie, you keep asking us to Cheshire Cup, Senior Cup. It's not ours to plug.
No, it's not.
It's not up to us to plug county stuff. Oh, there's stuff in the club shop if you want to. Hoodies in the club. If you're a bit nippy, what with not being able to afford the rising heating bills, cheers government, then you might want to pick yourself up a county hoodie to keep you warm on those long, long nights. Pencil cases are also available. Hospitality is on sale for the remaining home games. Tickets to the Kevin Francis evening. If you want to go and see a Queen tribute band and go and trample all over Liam Cash's lovely pitch, you can do that. Just go to... Well, no, I'm not going to tell you where to go. Just find it. David Wright definitely watches Pointless.
The people in Tuvalu, New Zealand and the Cook Islands want to know what the album is. Come on. Let's move it on. Jesus.
That's the man there who watches Pointless, and I'm here for that. It is, it's summer. very summery today. I've had a glaze on me, a sweaty glaze on me today. So when it's summer, the only thing you can do is whip out the Kinks are the Village Green Preservation Society. Because one of is up there with last week's LP, The Stone Roses, as a summer. I was going to say a Christmas album then. Definitely not Christmas. The summer album. But every day feels like Christmas when I'm on here with you, Russ. That's what it is.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice thing to say. Thanks. I do enjoy you coming on the show. Okay, so righty, Steve.
Yes, mate.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, pleasure's all mine. It's great to be on, mate. I've enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah, it's been an absolute scream. Cheers to Dave from earlier as well. We'll be back next week. If you haven't already, I forgot to mention, if you haven't already, please like the episode and subscribe if you haven't as well. It does help us.
And on your podcast player, you can subscribe there on podcast players. That all goes to help us.
It does.
Plus
Anything
up the charts.
It does. Anything that if you can rate us or anything, comment, whatever, it all helps. So please do that. Do it now. Like the show now, and then
only rate if you're going to do a nice rate rather. Like you said, Nick. No negative. Nothing negative.
Before we go, Russ, we know where people can hear me on Saturday morning with Jonathan the Geordie Hatter. Where can people hear you this weekend, apart from on the terraces at Yeovil?
Well, yeah, I'll be on the terraces at Yeovil. You can hear me Sunday 1 till 2 on my indie classic rock show on Real Rock Radio. Yeah, that's my new slot. And I believe there might be a slot coming for you.
Oh, slots everywhere. look at us like a pair of slot badgers.
Speaking of slots, what about the arcade video machines?
Tell you what, you can come again. You can go smooth.
That was filthiest of filthy slots.
I know. I thought he was there with me, but you got sidetracked. What can I say?
Oh, God. Nothing's going to beat this. It's all downhill from here.
Right, let's end it there, guys. See you later.
See you in a bit.
Bye.